A woman saved a baby elephant. Years later, it remembered her. Everyone thought she was making a terrible mistake. A tiny baby elephant had been found completely alone. No mother, no herd, no one knew where she came from. She was weak, frightened, and wandering through a dangerous wilderness. Then a woman named Emma stepped toward her. Everyone around her shouted, "Stay away." But Emma didn't run. She didn't turn around. Instead, she slowly walked closer to the frightened baby elephant. And what happened next would create a bond that lasted for years. But nobody could have imagined what would happen almost 10 years later, because the baby elephant Emma saved would come back. And this time, she would remember everything. It all began on a hot afternoon in a remote wildlife reserve. Emma was working with a small animal rescue team when they received an urgent call. A baby elephant had been discovered near a dry riverbed. She was completely alone. When Emma arrived, she immediately saw something heartbreaking. The tiny elephant was standing in the middle of the dry landscape, looking around desperately. Every few seconds, she raised her trunk and searched the air. She was looking for her mother, but there was no answer. No other elephants were nearby. Emma stood quietly and watched her. The baby elephant looked exhausted. Her ears barely moved, her trunk hung close to the ground, and every time she heard a sound, she turned around, hoping her family had returned. But they never did. Emma knew they had to help her. She slowly stepped out of the rescue vehicle, but before she could get close, another rescue worker stopped her. "Don't go any closer." Emma looked at him. He explained that frightened elephants could be unpredictable. The baby was scared. She didn't know who Emma was, and she had just lost the most important thing in her life, her family. But Emma didn't see a dangerous animal. She saw a baby who was terrified and alone. So Emma did something unexpected. She sat down right there on the ground. She didn't chase the elephant. She didn't try to grab her. She didn't make any sudden movements. She simply sat quietly and waited. For several minutes, nothing happened. The baby elephant stood still. Emma stayed still too. The wind moved through the dry grass, birds flew across the sky, and the two watched each other. Then, the baby elephant took one step forward. Emma didn't move. The elephant took another step. Emma remained completely calm. Slowly, very slowly, the baby came closer until she was standing only a few feet away. Emma gently placed one hand on the ground. The baby elephant lowered her trunk, and then she touched Emma's hand. For the first time that day, the frightened elephant seemed calm. Emma knew she had to help her. The rescue team searched the area for the elephant's family. They searched for hours. Then they searched for days. They looked for footprints. They listened for calls. They searched the surrounding land, but they found nothing. No mother, no herd, no sign that anyone was coming back. The baby elephant was truly alone. The rescue team gave her a name. They called her Nala. And from that day forward, Emma became the person Nala trusted most. Every morning, Emma visited her. She brought food, she checked on her health, and she sat beside her. Sometimes Emma would simply talk to Nala. She knew the elephant couldn't understand every word, but somehow Nala seemed to understand her voice. Day after day, something amazing happened. Nala started waiting for Emma. Every morning, she would look toward the gate, and when Emma appeared, Nala would walk toward her. Soon, Nala began following Emma everywhere. If Emma walked left, Nala followed. If Emma stopped, Nala stopped. And whenever Emma tried to leave, Nala would stand at the gate and watch her disappear. The bond between them became stronger every day. But Emma knew something important. Nala didn't belong with humans. She belonged with elephants. She needed to learn how to live in the wild. She needed a family. She needed a herd. So Emma made one of the hardest decisions of her life. Nala would have to leave. Eventually, the rescue team found a safe place where Nala could join other elephants. The day finally arrived. Nala was strong enough. She was ready, but Emma wasn't. She knew this was the right thing to do. Still, saying goodbye was painful. Emma walked beside Nala one final time. Nala seemed different that day. She kept looking back, again and again, as if she knew something was about to change. Emma tried to stay strong, but when Nala finally began walking toward the other elephants, Emma's eyes filled with tears. Nala stopped. She turned around and looked directly at Emma for several seconds. Neither of them moved. Then Nala turned away and disappeared into the herd. Emma stood there watching. She didn't know if Nala would remember her. She didn't know if she would ever see her again. So Emma returned home. Life continued. Years passed. Emma continued working with animals. There were new rescues, new challenges, new animals that needed help. But she never forgot Nala. Sometimes she wondered what had happened to the little elephant. Had she found a family? Was she safe? Had she grown up? And most importantly, did she remember Emma? Then almost 10 years passed. One day, Emma returned to the same wildlife reserve. She was walking with a small group of visitors when something unexpected happened. A guide suddenly stopped. Everyone became quiet. An enormous elephant was approaching from the distance. Emma looked at the animal. The elephant was huge, powerful, completely different from the tiny baby Emma remembered. The guide told everyone to remain still. The elephant continued walking toward them. Emma watched carefully. Then something strange happened. The elephant stopped and looked directly at Emma. Emma felt something she couldn't explain. There was something familiar about those eyes. The elephant raised her trunk and made a soft sound. Emma's heart began racing. Could it be? No, it couldn't be. Almost 10 years had passed. There were thousands of elephants in the region. How could this be the same one? The elephant took one step closer, then another. Emma stood completely still. The elephant was now only a few feet away, and then she did something that shocked everyone. She gently raised her trunk and touched Emma. The exact same way that tiny baby elephant had touched Emma's hand years earlier. Emma immediately began crying. She knew. It was Nala. The tiny baby elephant Emma had once found alone was standing in front of her again. Now she was fully grown, strong, healthy, and completely free. But the biggest surprise was still coming. Nala suddenly turned around. She walked a short distance away. Then she stopped and looked back at Emma. Emma didn't understand. Nala walked a little farther, then stopped again and looked back. It was almost as if she wanted Emma to follow her. So Emma did. She slowly walked behind Nala. The elephant led her toward a group of elephants resting beneath the trees. Emma stopped because there, standing beside the herd, was a tiny baby elephant. Emma looked at Nala, then she looked at the baby, and suddenly she understood. Nala wasn't just showing Emma her herd, she was showing her something special. Her baby. Emma stood completely still. The frightened little elephant she had once rescued had grown into a powerful adult, and now she had her own family. Emma couldn't stop smiling through her tears. She finally understood something. Years ago, she had saved Nala's life, but she had also made the hardest decision. She had let her go. She didn't keep Nala for herself. She gave her the freedom to return to the world where she truly belonged. And now, Nala had come back, not because she needed to be rescued, not because she was lost, but because she remembered. She remembered the woman who sat beside her when she was alone, the woman who didn't give up on her, the woman who helped her become strong enough to return to her own family. Emma slowly stepped closer. Nala stood beside her baby. For a moment, Emma looked at the young elephant. Then she looked at Nala and she realized how much had changed. That tiny baby was gone. In her place stood a mother, a leader, a survivor. Emma had once found Nala alone. Now Nala had a family of her own. As Emma prepared to leave, something happened that she would never forget. Nala followed her for a few steps. Then she stopped. Emma turned around. Their eyes met one final time. Nala raised her trunk, and Emma slowly raised her hand. For one brief moment, it felt exactly like the first day they met, a frightened baby elephant and the woman who refused to walk away. Only this time, Nala wasn't alone. She had a herd, she had a family, and she had a new generation beside her. Emma smiled. Then she slowly walked away, and Nala returned to her family. Years earlier, Emma had saved a baby elephant, but perhaps Nala had saved something in Emma too. She reminded her that kindness can last longer than we imagine, that love doesn't always need words, and that sometimes the smallest act of kindness can create a memory that lasts a lifetime. Emma didn't know if Nala would remember her, but Nala did. After almost 10 years, she remembered the woman who sat beside her when everyone else was afraid, the woman who gave her hope, the woman who helped her find her way home. So, if you ever wonder whether one small act of kindness can truly make a difference, remember Emma and Nala. Because sometimes you save a life, and years later, that life comes back to remind you why you did it. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who believes animals never forget kindness. And subscribe to Wonder Tale, because you never know what incredible story is waiting around the corner.